Hello and welcome to my video of exploring ancient Wiltshire. Follow me as I venture 50 miles on foot across Wiltshire from Stonehenge, northwards to the Wayland Smithy long barrow, via as many ancient monuments as I could achieve over a sunny weekend in September. During this mini project of mine, I discover not only that I'm actually not that good a vlogger, but also discover just how beautiful southern England can be and how much fascinating history it has to offer that is often hidden in plain sight. Along the way, I also faced some unexpected challenges that very much tested my motivation to complete this walk, which you will come across later. Also to add at this point, some of the footage does begin in portrait mode, which is very much a rookie error, and I apologise for that, but as I settled into the journey I soon realised that what I was doing was wrong, so rest assured that only the first few clips are like this. So without much further ado, I'll briefly go over my route plan as we begin at Stonehenge and head northeast up the avenue to the Cursus Monument, and onwards there to Woodhenge and Durrington Walls. From there I track north through Lark Hill and again join the Salisbury Plain, hoping I could pass the firing ranges without too much issue before skirting up the eastern byways or the eastern fringes of Salisbury Plain up to Castley Camp, which is an Iron Age hill fort and the first Iron Age hill fort I come across on the journey, before heading northeast along the northeastern fringes of the plains, passing a classic aircraft airfield on the way. From there I come off the plains and drop down into the Vale of Pewsey. Heading north I pass Mardenhenge, which is widely considered to be one of the largest Neolithic henges in the UK, and then through the village of Stanton St Bernard before climbing back up out of the village onto All Cannings Down, which is where I actually come across the Wand Dyke, which is a 35-mile long ditch and bank earthwork thought to be used for defensive purposes some time ago. I then pass the east and west Kennet Neolithic long barrows, and then I finish day one with a walk up the avenue into Avebury, where I find somewhere to pitch the tent for the night. So then, on to day two. I leave Avebury, heading east out of the Stone Circle, following the Wessex Ridgeway initially, as I climb up onto Overton Down, where I then join the Ridgeway and head north again. While on the Ridgeway I pass the Hackpen White Horse and then subsequently Barbury Castle, which is another Iron Age hill fort, where I then leave the current Ridgeway and route instead to join the old Ridgeway, since it was just a little bit shorter overall to walk. After a few miles on the old Ridgeway I pass just south of Chiseldon, and then past Liddington Hill Fort, where I subsequently rejoin the Ridgeway path and cross over the M4, heading northeast back up onto the Lambourne Downs. That's where I then continue on the home straight to Wayland Smithy Long Barrow, which is where I finish this adventure. And well, yeah, here we go. So, just started the walk now. We're at Stonehenge, on one of the byways here, with about 28 and a bit miles to go. It's a lovely morning, and well, things are looking good so far. I'll check back with you later and to see how badly things are going then, but for now it's all good. Well, could not have asked for a better morning to do this. The weather is absolutely perfect. About a mile and a half into my walk now. I've passed Stonehenge, got through the small crowd of people that were down there. I've followed the avenue and I'm now near the easternmost part of the Cursus Monument, and well, just a fantastic morning. Yeah. So we've cleared the Stonehenge landscape now. We've passed the monument and I'm now just about to arrive at Woodhenge, which is waypoint number 2. Woodhenge and Durrington Walls now. Have a quick look around there and then head back west again to rejoin another byway and take me up to Salisbury Plains, and I'll go and see if the firing ranges are active or not. If they're active, I've got a detour round to the east to avoid the ranges. If they are not active, I can cut straight across and head north from here, so we'll see. So this is slightly unexpected. Where I should be on a byway right now, according to my OS maps, I'm on a building site. And I'm not sure of a way through. So, no luck getting through that lot. There's absolutely no way without going on a main road I can bypass, so I'm having to turn back and I've try and pick up another byway which is hopefully open just up the road. So the bypass route has worked. This is a alternative byway. It's a bit of a detour around to the west, probably only maybe half a mile longer, but it means I can go around that building site and get back on course on my original route. So now I'm just going to keep going until we can see the flagpoles of the Rangers and see if they've got any flags flying or not. As far as I think I can see a couple, and as far as I can tell there are no flags flying, so you might be alright, but you never know, they might just start putting the flags up as I get there, no my luck, so let's see. So, just realised I've made a mistake when filming earlier. I've been filming largely in portrait because that's how the hand naturally holds the phone, and I should have been filming in a landscape like this, but oh well, mistake realised. That'll be it for now. So, update on the byway, as you can see, and I can see a flagpole with no red flag on it up ahead, which is good news. That means I can keep off that main road, and instead I can just walk the byway, which is much more preferable than yeah, going on a main road which has likely got no footpaths or anything for me to stick to. So yeah, it's going well. We're probably I don't know, 5 or 6 miles into the trip now. We're outside of Larkhill. We're just on the southeastern fringes of the artillery ranges. So yeah, see if we can keep on track. No red flags. Yes. Perfect. So now I'm slightly confused. That's a red flag, and that's a firing range over there. Oh, some motorbikes coming. They've just been down that trail, so it must be okay. Nice. Anyway, as I say, I'm guessing the red flag there means I can't go that way or cross that fence. But there's no red flag here. I've no idea if that means I can go that way. Those bikes just came from down there. I'll be honest, I really am not too sure. I've decided to continue on my way along this byway. Yes, there's a red flag there, but then there's fencing around the edge of the byway here and signs all facing outwards. So I can only assume that the ranges are that way, and as long as I stick to the byway, don't cross those signs or go in that direction, then I should be fine. But yeah, let's just go for it. So as I'm walking across the plains now, I'm still outside the artillery ranges, but I can hear the fire from the guns, and I can just see smoke on the horizon there. Sounds pretty intimidating, and hear the thump of presumably artillery shells hitting their targets, or not, but either way, that's my track that way, ranges over there, that way's north, that's where I want to go. We're still good. Just listening to those guns firing. It's awesome. A pair of balloons just flown over, as you do. So, a little update. I'm now just over 10 miles along my route now. Got about 18 miles to run, thereabouts. It's going good, still on the byways. I've managed to stay outside the firing ranges the whole time. In fact, I'm now pretty much outside the danger zone entirely, according to OS maps, which is good. Should be a nice, clear, military-free run from here. Well, I was going to say feet begin to hurt a bit, but yeah, nothing to complain about, nothing bad. And the weather is absolutely stunning, as is the countryside. It's not bad at all. Perfect day for it. There is the rampart, or the outer rampart of Castlebury Camp, which is where we are now. It's described as a late Iron Age to early Romano-British hill fort, and not thought to be of a defensive purpose. But yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. Quite hot, it's quite windy. I think this is easily going to be one of the warmest bits of the day, but making good progress. We're about 12 miles into the walk now, just over 2/3 of the way, sorry, 1/3 of the way. Yeah, going well. Like I said, weather is holding up nicely. Got plenty of water. Just sat down for a quick breather and take, this is the first time I sat down in about 11 miles back there. And yeah, just take on a bit of water, a bit of energy, make sure we can keep going. And we're just nearing the northeastern fringes of the firing ranges now. I am just on the northeastern fringes, and it won't be long before we drop down off Salisbury Plain and head towards Alton Barnes and up towards the Marlborough Downs. So progress is good so far. So here we are. About 14 miles in now, about 15 miles to go. I'm at the northernmost point of the Salisbury Plains that I can walk to today, and I've reached the point where I now leave the Salisbury Plains and drop down into the valley. And this will be the bridle path somewhere along here that I'll have to take. Let's hope it's not too overgrown. Decided actually this is a good place to stop to eat some lunch, just on the same byway, while watching some biplanes do their thing, which is pretty cool. And yeah, in the shade of the trees, with a fantastic view, gorgeous weather, can't beat it. Okay, that's lunch done for now, and onwards in that direction to up to the White Horse. You might be able to see on the hill over there, up to about there and over the hill in that direction. Off we go. Still hear those guns really quite loudly now, although they've stopped as soon as I started filming, obviously. Some cracking views around here, there really are. But there's the trail I'm heading for, all the way up there. First I've got to go down this big hill. It's quite amazing just how quickly you come down off the Salisbury Plains. It's quite a descent down actually, but yeah, spectacular scenery. So there we are, we're down off the plains, Salisbury Plain, and heading into the valley now, the Vale of Pusey, just on this lovely little track. And still very much within earshot of those artillery guns. Making an absolute racket, but it sounds incredible. Yeah, on we go. That's 4 miles to go, which means I'm pretty much exactly halfway. I haven't measured the route exactly, just because of the detour or two I've had this morning, but yeah. At this rate, it's going to be dark before we get to where I want to set up the tent. Oh well, can't be late. So this is the village of Marden, down in the Vale of Pusey, and yeah, picturesque, it's quite nice. But next up will be another Neolithic monument, which will be a henge. I can't remember the exact name, but I'll catch up with you again when we get there. Oh yes please. Oh, I'd do anything for a pint. That way. So this is actually the site of a Neolithic henge. And it's not bad looking today either. This is exactly the sort of footpath I was dreading. Nettles galore all the way through. With shorts on! Yay! Bloody hell. Ow. Got stung. Yeah, great footpath this is. If I'm dead tomorrow, this is probably why. So, after about 30 minutes it took me to actually fill it with water, try and filter it and clean it, etc., and get ready for my bag all packed again. Railway, green light. That must mean go. Well, I wet me buff in the river as well as a bit of a aid to cooling. Feels quite nice actually. I must have done the council up a bloody job back there, cutting those nettles down, but there you go, that's what you get for wearing shorts. We're back underway. I've fashioned a walking stick / nettle beating stick, so I feel like I'm going to need it more. Yep, just picking up the footpath. Not that there really is one, but it's marked, so using it. And yeah, let's keep going. Empty stables. Yes, as you do. I think I prefer road walking on these kind of roads with nobody on. Smooth, flat asphalt, without having to beat the nettles into submission before you can move more than a foot forwards. This is nice. I like this. Well, there we are. 21 and a bit miles in, and another lovely village. I'm not gonna lie, I am feeling the strain now. A lot of pain in my feet and legs, but I shall not give in. I shall keep going. Oh yes. This is the beginning of the big incline. Can't wait to get this bit done. Cheeky update. Still going. We are about 22 miles now, 23 miles. A little bit earlier on, while trying to go over a gate, I managed to pull a muscle in my leg. Yes, it really canes. I'm struggling to walk on it right now. I've taken some painkillers. I had plenty to drink. You see the buffer's gone. That warmed up and dried out. So, may not make the target destination tonight, however, I will try. If not, I'll just have to set the tent up somewhere a bit sooner. But we've got about 8 miles to go, so I'm hoping I'll make it. But I'll keep you posted. This absolute mother of a hill literally killed me. Not that I complain a lot, but that's just how it is, as it is. So, made it to the top of that mother hill of pain. Up on the Pusey Downs now. Not going to make my target by nightfall, so I'm going to have to look for somewhere to sleep tonight. Fairly sharpish, we've got a couple of hours of daylight left, and it's going to get cold pretty quick. But now that I'm on top of the Pusey Downs, what I have found is this feature here, which is the Wansdyke path, bank and ditch defensive earthwork. It runs approximately 35 miles long, probably wrong, but as far as I remember it's about 35 miles long. It's pretty cool. Ditch of the Wansdyke. It's a pretty impressive feature. Now on the northeastern side of the earthwork. Crack on. That does not deceive me. That over there in the distance, a couple of miles away, is Silbury Hill. Awesome feature. Well, now nearing Avebury pretty quickly. Sunset is actually in about 30 minutes or so, so we are quickly losing daylight, but it's not complete darkness till about just gone 8 or just before 8. So let's get to Avebury, find some water, and I'll find someone to get the tent up, hopefully. And yes, the painkillers have kicked in a bit. I'm able to walk a little bit faster, but it still hurts. But I'm not a whinger, I'm a doer, so let's crack on. And there's a familiar sight, the avenue at Avebury. I'm so nearly there, and pretty much in the nick of time by the looks of it, looking at this daylight. Made it to Avebury, 26 miles, and now I think maybe for a pint and definitely some water and find somewhere to put the tent down. So there we are, that's the tent all set up, that's the jet ball going, and that's me ready for dinner, ready for bed. So I'll catch you in the morning. Hopefully I've had some sleep between now and then, and yeah, cracker sparrows. As soon as the sun gets up, I'll be packing up and hitting the trail. So let's see how the night goes. So, not a great night. It's wondering about whether to walk today at all, or whether I just head down into Avebury and wait out for a bit for a lift back to Devon. Wasn't a good night. I struggled to sleep properly. Did not help at about 2:30 in the morning. I was woken up by a severe thunderstorm. Really, a lot of, bright lightning, loud thunder, which I found pretty alarming, since I won't say where I've camped exactly. I am on top of a very tall hill, and I am very, very exposed up here. I was not particularly comfortable with sitting in a thunderstorm. Call me a wet wipe if you like, but it seemed pretty dangerous to be up here in such a storm. So at that time in the morning, I slipped into my waterproofs. I got out the tent and I legged it off the hill, really. There was heavy torrential rain and, like I said, just flashes of lightning, and it was pretty severe. It was quite a thunderstorm, and I headed for shelter. Rainstorms don't bother me in the tent, wind doesn't bother me, but lightning. Normally I like to watch a thunderstorm from a car or from a house or something, but from a tent exposed on a hilltop with nothing, I mean properly exposed, nothing around me. This tent's taller than the hedge that it's sat next to. There really isn't anything around here. I thought it was maybe a bit too risky. So I headed down into the village and found some shelter. And sorry, just turn my jet boil off there. Found some shelter and I waited out the thunderstorm for about an hour and a half. Walking back, I realised just how broken the muscles in my legs are. Serious pain. Walking back here at sort of 3:30 in the morning, while the thunderstorm had passed, was not fun. I was really struggling to walk. But I did make it back here eventually, and then just light sleep, no decent sleep from then on in. I did fall asleep, but it wasn't fantastic. So waking up feeling a little bit rough, probably looking pretty rough. I do look a bit rough actually, yeah. I smell as well, I can smell myself in here. It's not pretty. But dilemma this morning is it's not raining now. However, there is another band of heavy rain pushing through this morning, and it's about an hour and a half away. So I don't have a lot of time to have something to eat and get breakfast and get packing and make a decision. I can go down into Wiltshire, into Avebury. I'm still tired. I can head down into Avebury and, like I said before, wait out a lift, find somewhere to sit down and just wait out the storms and wait for a lift. Or, if my legs aren't that bad and I've got enough energy, I can hit the trail and just attempt the ridgeway and just see how far I might be able to get. But the only downside to that is if I'm caught out in the open in another storm, there's no guarantee of shelter or safety or anything like that. So it might be a silly idea given that how bad my legs are. But I'll have some breakfast, I'll have a coffee, I'll think over it, and I'll get back to you with an update. So, you rejoin me now. I'm in Avebury, inside the stone circle and henge, and I'm heading north now, and I'm going to go and pick up the ridgeway. I've decided, yes, it's raining, but that's what waterproofs are for. Look at that. That's magnificent, isn't it? Just while I'm here, the size of them. It's one of my favourite places in the world, this is, Avebury. So rich in history, it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Anyway, so I can't stick around too long, I've got a lot of walking to do. So plan is we'll pick up the ridgeway, just walk out through the rain. Unless it gets really bad, I'll just keep going through the rain, try and keep everything dry, and see how many miles we can get done before my legs completely give out. Taking some painkillers this morning, it seems to help. So yeah, here goes nothing. Just a bit more on why I've decided to go ahead with walking up to the Ridgeway today. Stand by, vehicle coming. So yeah, he's just pulling in there. Anyway, I now live in the Shetland Islands, as some of you may know, and I don't get the chance to do this very much anymore now that I don't live in England. I've always wanted to walk the Ridgeway, and I won't get the opportunity to do it again for quite a long time. Especially the next time I'm down here will probably be midwinter, and there just isn't a lot of daylight to be walking around then. So yeah, well, that's what I've come down to do. Yeah, my legs are hurting, but I think I'd be kicking myself if I didn't just get on with it and give it a go. So we've got a big hill to climb yet, 150, 200 meters or so in ascent. It's a bit of a long drag, but yes, I'm sure you'll see me all nice and red-faced again at the top. Catch you in a bit. Well, I'm now officially on the Ridgeway. I'm not going to use my phone too much because it's not waterproof and it is still raining moderately hard. So just a quick one, I'll catch up with you again when it stops raining further down the Ridgeway. We're still on the Ridgeway. I'm still actually not that far from Avebury. I have been stopped during the heaviest rain, taking some sort of shelter under a tree while I had some breakfast, because I didn't actually have breakfast when I got up this morning, if I'm honest. But then as I started walking, the rain got heavier. I started flagging a little bit, and I thought, you know what, yeah, I'm pretty hungry and I haven't eaten, so yeah, the breakfast was necessary. Yeah, let's try and get a proper grip of this. There we go. So yeah, had some breakfast and topped up with water as well. Well, as I said, it stopped raining. It started raining again actually, but it is clearing, looking brighter behind me, which is coming this way. So hopefully not much more of this rain and I can get these waterproofs off and start drying stuff out and perhaps enjoying the trail just that little bit more. But I'll keep you posted. Catch you later. It has stopped raining. You'll be pleased to hear, or I'm glad to say at least, it stopped raining. It's a beautiful track, this part of the Ridgeway. It's just nice, flat, smooth gravel, occasional puddle, but really it's easy walking. And we're up on the hills. We've got a good view out across Wiltshire, and yeah, the weather is improving. Like I said, a tiny bit of light rain, which is really nothing to what it was earlier. So we got about 14 or so miles to go. I'd like to achieve Wayland Smithy Barrow, because that's something I've always wanted to see. I haven't been there yet. You may have realised when I've got a bit of a fascination with ancient history, but yeah, just gonna have to see how my legs hold out and how the rest of the day goes. So catch up with you in a bit. Hello. Well, nice change in the weather there. I've finally managed to get the waterproofs off, and yeah, the sun's out. Just that's enough. It means I can take the waterproofs off, sling them on the back of the bag, which they're hopefully still there. Yes, they are. And get everything dried out a little bit before I have to get in my mate's car to go home. So yeah, we're still on the Ridgeway. It's going well. It's quite quiet this morning. Haven't seen many people. I think I've had one runner past me in the last hour. Yeah, the visibility's getting better. I can see more and more of Wiltshire. It's looking really quite nice over that way. See the sun shining on the ground over there. So yeah, progress is not fast, but we're making progress nonetheless. We'll just have to see which way I decide to go quite shortly. I can either take the old ridgeway, which takes me down off the downs and involves quite a lot of road walking, but it is a couple of miles shorter. It's just a lot of roads, and I quite fancy staying on the trail, which is the other option, is to stay on the ridgeway itself, the current ridgeway, and which again a couple of miles is longer, takes me through Ogburn St George, but yeah, I might not make Wayland Smithy, so in time that is. So let's see what I decide to do when we get there. Well, there is Avebury Castle. The ridgeway passes right through it. It's an Iron Age hill fort, quite an impressive looking one actually. You can see just there the ridgeway passes through the middle. However, I've decided to stick with my planned route, and I'm going to take the old ridgeway and take the more road route, just because it is that bit shorter. I'm a little bit pressed for time, so I've got to think a bit realistically. So I'm going to head down over that way, and when I get to the fork I'm going to go left and go down off the downs and pick up the ridgeway again a few miles further on. So I'll check back with you later. Just a nice sheltered bit of the trail here. I did actually just break my walking stick, so it's a good job there's trees around, so I've made myself another one. A little bit short, but it'll do. I'm not stopping anymore just to make more walking sticks. So, yep, that's about 11 miles to go. I've got about 5 hours to run. Should be achievable, but we'll see how I do. So, catch you later. Well, there we are. I'm finally down to single-digit miles to go. 9.9 miles to go. I've got about 4 hours to do it, and I've started listening to music now for some motivation to keep me going. Just enjoying the old ridgeway as I go. Lovely tree covered area for the last couple of miles now. This has been a tree covered bit. It's quite pleasant, but again very quiet. No one's down here, but hey ho, catch you later. Although I'm still technically on the old ridgeway, this is the route that it follows. I'm now on a road like this, perhaps a bit busier, for a good few miles now, until I turn right again somewhere past the hills over that way and get back up onto the downs and head for Wayland Smithy. So for a few more miles. I'm not sure there's much worth filming on roads like this, nothing too exciting, but yeah, there we go. So we're just passing Liddington Castle now, which is another Iron Age hill fort. Unfortunately I don't get to go through this one, but because my route takes me just past it, actually down there. That's the old ridgeway along that road, so I'll go along the bottom of the hills, and it won't be long before I hook a right and again go up onto the downs, but something to see. So you catch up with me again. I'm still on the old ridgeway, on the IE main road. I don't know which one it is. Main road, cars going up and down it. In quite an awful lot of pain right now. Excuse me 1 second, there's a car coming past. Yeah, a lot of pain. My left knee is really not happy. It's giving quite a lot of grief. If I'm honest, yeah, struggling just to walk on it at all. I've got about 6 miles to go to Wayland Smithy. That is my target, that's where I want to get to. Between me and that, there is one substantial hill, and that's where I'll rejoin the original ridgeway, or the ridgeway. So I'm not going to lie, I'm very tempted to stop now and just wait it out and get a lift because of my knee, how bad it is. But the thing is, I'd be really quite disappointed if I didn't make it all the way to Wayland Smithy. I'd love to go and see that place anyway. It's not far to go. I've come this far. I really want to keep going. So until my knee becomes, you know, just absolutely useless, you know, until I'm absolutely unable to walk, I'm going to hobble my way onwards. So yeah, I'll catch up again when hopefully I've joined the ridgeway and start climbing a big hill. Ta-ta! Back off the road now. It's on the still on the ridgeway. up that first steep hill. Don't the hills just get steeper? The longer you walk, the steeper the hills seem to get. Anyway, 4 miles to run to Wayland Smithy, 4 miles to go. So talk of the devil, that was actually my mate just phoning me saying he is going to get it for about 5:30, but he knows I said 6, so he'll wait. Isn't he good? Isn't he good? Anyway, so 4 miles to Wayland Smithy. On the Ridgeway, like I said, off the road, no cars now, which is nice. And just hobbling along like an old lady for the remainder, so I'll catch you again hopefully when I get there. He's only gone and done it. There it is, the Wayland Smithy Neolithic long barrow. Stonehenge to Wayland Smithy on the Ridgeway. My target for the day, my target to finish this walk, and he's done it. Yes! I cannot tell you how much pain my legs are in, but oh my god, it's worth it. So if you're seeing this, then you've made it to the end of the video and you join me now back at my home in the on the Shetland Islands on a blustery and stormy winter's evening. So thank you very much for watching all the way through. It was quite a long video and there was quite a lot of complaining, certainly towards the second half there, but hopefully it won't be so long before I could do something like this again, and I hope, it is my hope that you've been able to take something away from this, this video, as I took something away from the whole experience. So once again, thank you very much, and until next time, cheerio.